On Keeper, the show you can't ignore. Wayne and Kevin diving deep into all things galore. Comic book, movie, sci-fi, and action thrill. Reviewing new TV shows, we keep it real. Reminiscing the attitude era, wrestling at its peak. Nostalgia from the 80s and 90s, memories we seek. Pineapples for our rings, a unique touch. Geek culture in our blood, we love it so much. Geek Blue forever, we love it so much. Keeper, where we talk about it all, from superheroes to wrestlers. We stand tall, Ray and Kevin, the dynamic duo in sight. Keeper, shining bright, shining bright. Did you hear about Pluto? That's messed up, right? Keeper, taking you on a nostalgia flight. From movies to TV, we cover it all. Join us and every week we'll have a ball. Shuffle.
That's great. Hey, what's going on?
What's great?
I don't know. Just the audio is doing weird stuff over here.
Got you.
Welcome everybody to a janky show. Starting off right. I'm gonna start the show off this week with a quick fat fucks.
The fat fucks are back. Yeah, you know Malcolm River, but the fat fucks are back. Motherfucker, show me the fat fuck.
Burger King coming out with the Mandalorian and Grogu meal. With you can get these special cups there on the right. You can get some new toys, a new themed burger, some Grogu chicken fries. I don't know what the fuck they are. Yeah, movie comes out in May 22nd, so they're in full promotion mode right now. Wanted to bring that up, and I also wanted to bring up this. We always like to see new sauces from restaurants, and they are coming out with the Papa John's garlic flavored sauce, which we both fucking love. Dipping that in the crust of the Papa John's pizza is amazing. A lot of places have replicated it, like Domino's has that. I think Pizza Hut may have that too. But just garlic butter, basically. But you can buy the sauce in probably Walmart. It's usually where they sell all these types of sauces. If you want to get restaurant sauces, usually at Walmart. So
yeah, usually.
Yeah.
Also, I tried the new Domino sauce, the slice sauce. It's like a peppery, cheesy ranch. And I had smoked some wings last weekend, and then went ahead and used some of that sauce on the wings, and it was fucking really good on the wings. I can't lie. But yeah, we like sauces. Papa John's has gone downhill in the last 20 years, and this shit probably would just make me want to throw up at this point in my life.
Possibly, yeah. I haven't had Papa John's in forever. We don't have one close to us. I don't know what the closest one is now. Portland, maybe?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I don't know. But the other thing you texted me earlier about something involving the Patriots, Mike Vrabel, whatever his name is.
Vrabel, yes.
Vrabel. And I want to do a quick Teach Ray Sports because I have no idea what the hell's going on with the Patriots right now. So let's do a Teach Ray Sports.
Okay. Let's figure this out.
This is the theme to Teach Ray Sports. We needed a theme for Teach Ray Sports. I couldn't think of anything that would be original. I stole this instrumental from the Gary Shanley Show. This is the theme to Teach Ray Sports. This is the theme to Teach Ray Sports. Kevin, what the hell's going on here?
Apparently, Mike Vrabel's been cheating on his wife for about the last 6-ish years with Diana Rossini, who is our age. I think Mike's like 52, 51.
Used to be a
like
player.
Early 40s. Yes,
He
former
used to be a
Patriots
player. Now now a head coach of the
Yep,
Patriots.
now the head
correct?
coach of the Patriots. And apparently this has been going on for about 6 years. They were recently caught. Nobody knows who hired the private investigator. A lot of people think it was the Tennessee Titans, who he used to coach for, or it
Okay.
was Diana's husband. I don't think that's been proven one way or the other yet. But they've been attacking her social media. I think she deleted Twitter actually yesterday or the day before. But there was a tweet from a game in Tennessee in like October of 2020. And then her son was born about 9 months later, and she named her son Michael, or Mike, as in Mike Vrabel. So her husband, I believe, he's one of the guys. I don't know if he runs Canes or Jersey Mike's. He does something like that.
Interesting.
I can't remember. I think he's like the CFO of some company like that. But yeah, this has all come out to the light recently. Some people even speculate that it was Belichick. I don't know. The whole thing's kind of a mess.
Getting his revenge. That's great.
We have the draft yesterday and tonight and tomorrow, and he is going to counseling and not going to be there for round 4, 5, and 6 of the draft or whatever, or 5, 6, 7, whatever it is tomorrow. So yeah, the Patriots, they're never that good without a good scandal around, I believe it was it Antonio Brown's Twitter? I don't know what he's up to, but I think he has people running his Twitter now, talking about how Mike chose the wrong kind of cheating for the Super Bowl for the Patriots to win the Super Bowl. So the jokes have been everywhere. Did I send you? I think I sent you that thing, the clip of her on the Bill Simmons podcast, where they're talking about this is last year when he had first gotten hired, and about how Gerard Mayo was a bad coach, and she says something along the lines of, "They're just going to shove Mike's D down your throat all season," as in his defense. But yeah.
Wow.
So Patriots are back. We've got scandals galore.
Patriots are back, baby.
Yes. And of course, the AI videos on Twitter of his press conference are pretty funny.
Yeah, so that's what's going on with the Patriots. Good to know. Well, he did get him into the Super Bowl last year, so there's a plus.
Yeah.
And I heard that NFL and Patriots aren't going to reprimand him or do nothing. They're kind of just going to leave it alone.
I mean,
private matter.
It's different than like Ime Udoka was the coach of the Celtics coming off the championship run where he was caught having relations, but cheating on his wife or fiance. But the difference is he was cheating on his wife or fiance with another member of the front office's wife.
Right. Yeah, that's you can't do that.
The only thing I think the NFL would have to investigate, which I guess they're not, I don't know if they've looked into it or not, is the fact that she is an insider. So potential trades or people that he could go after, she would have the inside scoop on. But then again, like, they report on this stuff anyway, so he probably would have heard it from the reports, or unless she kept some stuff just for him. But I don't know. We'll see how this whole thing plays out. Hopefully he's Sarah head coach next year.
Right. Okay. We'll keep an eye on that. Talk about anything that comes up, but interesting story. I wanted to get your opinion on it. Let's talk about what we watched this week. First off, Daredevil Born Again episode 6 was last week. And we got confirmation that Vanessa has been killed.
Yes.
Kaput. No more. She's confirmed it herself that her character is gone. She's finalized her time as that character for 10 years now. She's been Vanessa.
Yeah, give or take. But of course, there was
Kingpins
3 or 4 years
the
without
Netflix,
Daredevil. So
the gap. Yeah. But she's a great actress. She was a great part to the Kingpin character. And now that she's not there to kind of keep
him
Wilson
in check.
Fisk in check, there's going to be a lot of damage done to the people who have fucked him over, including Daredevil and especially Bullseye, who did the killing blow.
Bullseye's fucked, yeah,
he's dead. So we'll talk about that. 2 more episodes this season, and then we get the Punisher one shot. Can't wait for that. And The Boys. I did not watch today's episode. I just realized that.
I did not watch it either.
It is on.
Of course, saw Michael, which we'll talk about later, and then decided to watch the Hulk Hogan documentary until about 2:30 in the morning.
That's exactly.
Riveting. And then last night I had the draft, so I don't watch TV during the day because I don't want to feel lazy and just sitting around watching TV. So I was gonna do it before today, and then I got lunch with a friend, and here we are.
We'll talk about that next week. I think the penultimate episode's next. No, that's only episode 4. We're only halfway through, so we'll talk about it next week. Euphoria. Did watch that episode
Same.
too. We're gonna say this the whole season. It's
Where's
not
Fess?
the Euphoria.
Fess?
Yeah, it's not the Euphoria that we love, and
Nope.
there's just story. I do like Rue. I like Zendaya's character Rue, and I want to see what happens to her.
Mhm.
But it's Sydney Sweeney being a slut, which she was in the season 1 and season 2. Now she's taken on OnlyFans. It's basically everybody in this show is a superstar and will be a superstar going forward. So there won't be a season 4, obviously. If it is, then HBO's not to pay them. They'd have to pay them a ton of money. I think they just did this season to kind of finish everybody's story, finish the series, and also to do kind of a retrospective to Angus and all that.
Yeah, I wonder if they could do, of course, not just Angus, but the dad who plays Jacob's father has also passed.
And he passed during filming. Yeah.
Yes.
Eric Dane.
But I wonder if they could pick this up with like maybe a different part of the country, a different group of kids.
A whole other spin-off. Yeah. Because a lot of people love the show and the dramatic part of it. And it's just kids growing up. Like that's why it hits us, because it's not our generation, but there's similar stuff that happened to us, not as dramatic, but it's like just growing up in high school and all that crazy shit that happens and coming of age and all that. So
I mean, this show for me is just, I watch it because of how much I love the cinematography and the way it's produced. All that stuff
and the music.
The music is top notch. Yeah.
Who's Labyrinth, who did the first 2 seasons, didn't do the 3rd season. He had a falling out with the production company. But yeah, the first 2 seasons, the music was perfect and everything. Next week is the wedding of Cassie and Nate. So everybody's going to be at the wedding watching it. The whole entire cast is going to be sitting and watching. So first time they've all been together in 4 or 5 years since the show was on last. So we'll talk about that next week. But we did have a big thing that we watched last weekend. Took up the whole weekend. That's why we didn't watch The Boys, because we had Saturday and Sunday we had WrestleMania. And then I went to the movies the whole entire day Wednesday leading up to Michael, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes. But WrestleMania was last weekend. 2 nights. Night one was god fucking awful. The first time I've ever seen media coverage bashing the hell out of something like this. I've never seen it this bad. The only highlight, Paige came back, which was spoiled the week before. The Rollins Gunther match, which we talked about a week ago, there was no need for that match. Gunther has been being built as this legend killer. If anything, he should have won against Randy Orton this year, or maybe they'll save it for next year if Randy retires. But it was just Randy lost his match this year, and I really thought maybe Randy would win, but again, forcing Pat McAfee into this, and I think they offered him to come back the Raw after, and he just said, "Nah, I'm done with the storyline. I'm done." And he kind of retired from wrestling. WrestleMania was his last match, last part of the show. I think a lot of it had to do with the backlash of having him part of this storyline with Cody Rhodes, being right in the middle of it, and then like, why the fuck is Pat McAfee this one that's in Randy Orton's ear, being the voices in his head? It made no sense, storyline wise, but Randy Orton, great. I want to see him get the same respect that John Cena got going out. I'm not sure if he will or not, but John Cena did host the WrestleMania both nights. Braun Breaker. The other thing that pissed me off was Braun Breaker coming back. If he was going to come back, he should have been in the Gunther. He should have took Gunther's place in this match. Now this match is going to be set up for Backlash, probably going into SummerSlam. It would have been a better WrestleMania. Maybe he wasn't cleared until this week. I don't know. Maybe they had no idea.
My issue nowadays is they don't really, ever since they went from PPV to PLE, they don't treat WrestleMania like it's anything special outside of a few things here and there. It's just another
night one.
It's just another,
especially
just another fucking Raw. It's just another Raw. It's just another episode of programming, another 3 hours to take up your time.
If you want a good glimpse of what TKO, if you want a good glimpse of what TKO does to this franchise now that they own it, night one is definitely TKO written all over it. You can tell just by the production of everything. And that brings us to night two. Night two was a little bit better. entertaining, I would think.
Mm-hmm.
Leading off, the main event was Roman Reigns and CM Punk, which has been 10 years in the making since the Shield debuted. Which was a great main event. The match is a 5-star for Dave Meltzer. I loved it going out of this pay-per-view. I enjoyed this whole show from beginning to end. The other thing is, night 1 seemed very, very long. Night 2 seemed like it was 2 hours long. Opened up with Brock Lesnar versus Oba Femi, and Brock Lesnar seemingly retired after the match after he lost to Oba.
Allegedly, and not planned. I don't know how true that is or not.
And the other thing, if you're going to talk storyline wise, Paul Heyman owes Gunther a favor.
Yep.
If anything happens, and I think Gunther, if they talk Lesnar to come back at SummerSlam, which I think was the original idea, is Gunther to retire him like he's been doing every other superstar. I would say that Gunther will ask Heyman to do this favor. This is if Lesnar decides to come back, if this is all part of the storyline or what, and forces Heyman to try to get Lesnar to come out of his retirement to face one more match in Minnesota in his hometown against Gunther to get a proper final farewell. Even though I gotta say, the way that match ended and the X and everything, he did the X, which is, for anybody that knows wrestling, is when the refs do the X, it means it's not something really bad is happening. This is not this is real, not kayfabe. This is very real. They're like, if somebody has an injury, they have to do that to let the people in the back know, yeah, somebody's really injured. Well, Lesnar did that to Paul Heyman, like, yeah, this is not fake. This is real. I'm really done. I don't know if that was done purposely. I don't know. I have no idea. Lesnar's not the type to do weird stories like that. He's kind of leaves everything in the ring. It's like as real. So
I wonder if something else is coming out of his whole situation. And accusations. That's one rumor going around. Because it would make more sense to retire him at SummerSlam, which I believe is the pay-per-view that he won. It's his hometown, and I believe he won his first title at a SummerSlam.
The Rock. Versus The Rock.
I can remember, and I think Orton also won his first title at SummerSlam also, so I didn't know I had them confused. But yeah.
The Intercontinental title ladder match was in the first hour, which is considered, it's weird because even you thought it was a pre-show, but it was actually the first hour of WrestleMania on ESPN, which is confusing to a lot of people, but it was the first hour of WrestleMania, which is for free on ESPN because it's the first year they've had it on the ESPN app and all that. But the ladder match was lackluster compared to ladder matches of the past on WrestleMania. Dom Mysterio versus Finn Balor. I love the Demon. I'm glad they brought him out at WrestleMania. Yep. I'm beginning to like Dom too. He's very much a mix of Ray and Eddie, and he plays his character off like Eddie, which is great.
Yes.
Jade Cargill, Rhea Ripley, probably the two best women performers right now, as far as character wise. Okay match, but it's women's. I mean, they still haven't perfected how to promote those matches. And there's with Paige is a great wrestler. And so is AJ Lee. If you want to promote those matches, go ahead. But and even Becky Lynch is a great wrestler. She's kind of got that, I mean, Stone Cold Becky Lynch vibe, if you want to say that. But Trick Williams versus Sami Zayn. I don't even think I watched that match. It was one of those matches I just was like, eh.
Yeah, I didn't know why that was there either.
Yeah, I didn't really give a shit. But the Punk versus Reigns match, like I mentioned, 5-star match for Dave Meltzer. I really loved it too. I love the storytelling. Punk definitely felt old in this match. And Reigns in all his promos leading up to WrestleMania was calling him an old man, and it definitely felt like that. Yeah. Seasoned, going in as a champion, leaving as the loser. And Reigns is now the champion. Seems like the Raw after WrestleMania is setting up the bloodline again. So who knows? WrestleMania, another one in the books. Probably going to cancel ESPN Unlimited because I do not want to pay fucking $30 after it goes up or whatever it is, an extra a month. I got in on the first year deal, but God, it's ESPN Plus is unlimited, whatever the hell it's called. It's not worth it for WrestleMania and all the other pay-per-views throughout the year. Although, I mean, the big four, I probably would go back next year and watch Rumble on Royal Rumble in January on just WrestleMania season in general. but there's no John Cena to keep me invested this year. Last year I watched all the Cena matches, which was great, but there's nothing keeping me watching a pay-per-view every week and paying $30 like we used to back in the day. And that's exactly what we're doing. And we had the WWE Network 10 years ago for $10 and we could watch everything. It just doesn't make sense for the consumer anymore. So yeah, if anything happens in wrestling, I know Dark Side's coming back sometime soon. I'm surprised it usually comes around WrestleMania season, but didn't come back this year. Still in production. But another thing in wrestling, you kind of briefly mentioned it. This Hulk Hogan documentary on Netflix, all 4 episodes, came out on Tuesday. It's fucking fantastic.
It was so good. I was planning to watch like 1 episode after Michael, and then ended up watching the whole thing till like 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah, I was going to watch as much as I could. I ended up watching all of it yesterday. Hulk Hogan got a bad end of the stick as far as his last moment in WWE. As far as his last moment, being a WWE guy and getting booed for his very last appearance on Netflix, the next Netflix debut of Raw. And you say what you will about Hulk Hogan, the person, Terry. That kind of sucked for him, and he wanted to come back and eventually maybe take that heat and make him a heel. That was kind of his original. That was kind of his idea, but he never had a chance to because he died not like a few months after that.
Yeah, July.
Talked a lot about him coming up in Tampa, Florida. Talked about how he worked for Vince Sr. Got fired for Vince Sr. because he went and did Rocky 3 and played Thunder Lips, which is a great part of that series in Rocky. And he started becoming popular outside of wrestling before he got back in with Vince Jr. He kind of started becoming a known name because of the Rocky movie. Then of course all the WrestleMania 1 debut with Mr. T, talked about that. Andre at Mania 3, which is iconic. It was actually the moment this year that they used for WrestleMania. And the other part of this documentary that is starting to pop up on social media is Donald J. Trump took a lot of his time out from what he says his break from Russia meetings to do interviews for this last year. I think Hulk was still alive when he asked him to be a part of it. And of course, this last time Hulk went on stage during the Republican National Convention and did the whole Trumpomania and all that stuff going wild. He is part of this documentary, did some interviews for it, talking about he's known Hulk forever. I mean, Donald Trump and wrestling, especially WWF, have been together from the very beginning of. I don't remember which Mania it was, but they were at Trump Plaza a few times for some of those Manias. I don't remember which ones they were, but and Hulk Hogan was always a part of the promotion for that in the early days. So he's known Donald Trump for a long time. They've kept in contact, kept friendship together, and Trump runs his presidency like a wrestling superstar, so understandable. So he's part of the documentary. Talked a little bit about Brett. Talked about how Hogan fucked over Brett at that Mania that was Caesar Palace in Las Vegas.
Go love Brett just doing all of these interviews for these documentaries just from his bar in Calgary.
Yep.
I feel like that'd be a fun road trip. Let's go to the Hitman bar.
He doesn't have anything nice to say about anybody.
He was nice at first because he did say he worked with Hogan back then, and he could see the potential or something like that. I forget what he said, but then as soon as they talked about WrestleMania 9, he was like,
"Oh yeah,
piece of
fuck
shit."
That guy. Fuck that guy.
I love you, Brett. Never change.
He was like that in the Shawn documentary last year. I can't wait for him. Last week, I can't wait for him to do the Goldberg documentaries and talk about how he ended his career. Could you imagine?
Oh my god, they need him on Dark Side of the Ring too more often.
Well, remember he used to be. Yeah, he was. He was part of the Screwjob episode, I believe.
Oh yeah, the Screwjob episode. Obviously, was he part of the Benoit? Was he part of the Benoit one?
I don't remember.
I don't think he was.
I don't think he was either. But yeah, Brett was a part of this documentary. Did an interview, talked shit like he does. Talked about him being booed out of the building at Raw, his last moment in WWE. And talked a lot about his legacy as the character, and trying to differentiate it from Terry, who is kind of a dick behind the scenes as far as being a racist, being sexist, being an overall dirtbag, redneck from Florida. And his death. I think the last 20 minutes of this, I teared up quite a bit. It's very heartbreaking to see somebody like such a big iconic person, especially earlier on in my life.
It was tough watching. It was tough watching when he was just working out. He like can't even open water bottles, but like he still works out like all the time.
He has a son open water bottles for him.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was kind of sad to see. But
he had a cane. The very last scene of him, he's like, "Yeah, we're gonna catch up with you in 3 months, and if we need any more footage for the documentary, we'll talk to you." And he walks off the scene with a cane in hand, and you see kind of in the background him all fuzzed out with a cane, walking like very, very badly. For all the years of damage. And then 3 months later, they said it was exactly 3 months later he passed away.
Of course, he mentions in the documentary that he wishes he had just kept the sleeper hold as his finisher, as opposed to compounding his back every time he did his finishing move, which really screwed him. Who knows? He'd probably be alive today, and he obviously wouldn't have gone through 19 back surgeries or whatever it was.
Yeah, the best moments you're talking about NWO. I love that episode talking about joining the NWO, becoming heel. And of course, coming back to WWF in 2002, 2003 for WrestleMania was great. Coming in as the heel and WrestleMania. I remember that moment. We're in your basement watching WrestleMania, and the turn of The Rock and Hogan just completely shifted. And nobody knew it. The audience just took over and said, yeah, fuck The Rock. Hogan is our guy. He's been our guy since 1985, and we are going to cheer him, and we are going to make sure that we give our support. And Rock was booed out of that building. They ended up turning The Rock a heel after that match because of it, and Hogan became the red and yellow. I think even the next night,
it was
for Rock.
Night, yeah.
He came out in the red and yellow. It was like, and Vince was like, "You need to be red and yellow now. You've got so much love."
That should have been it for him. That should have been his send off, like he says a few times in the documentary.
And he says it a few times. Yeah, he ended up coming back. He ended up becoming champion in like 2003, 2004, around that time. And yeah, it was just awful. And then he came back to TNA. They showed some of that. That was awful. He could barely walk when he was doing that. Yeah, it was god awful.
Remember how excited we were for TNA back then, though? Remember that you came over for that first TNA versus Raw show, I believe. That was a good time to be a fan, but he was just he had to do it for the paycheck. Yeah. He couldn't actually move.
Yeah, he lost. When he divorced Linda, he lost like 73% of his. He just said, "Fuck it, give her money, be done with it. I don't even want to see her again," and gave her 73% of his whole entire income from wrestling and everything. But yeah, it's too bad. As far as Terry Bollea is concerned, kind of a dick, kind of a racist. But as far as Hulk Hogan's concerned, he's an icon. He's legendary. We've said it before. There's some iconic pieces of media, pieces of pop culture that you just recognize immediately. The red and yellow. The minute you see it, you think Hulkamania. Especially if you grew up around our time. But Hulk Hogan, Real American on Netflix. 4 episodes. It's very, very good. Very good WWE produced documentary.
It's very nice, very evil.
Very nice, very evil. Danhausen, great at WrestleMania, by the way. Did not bring that up.
Yeah, we did not. That was my favorite part of it. And I like Night 2 a lot, and that was my favorite part. With the Midgethausens.
Yep. So let's talk about some movies. We watched a couple. I watched one I want to talk about first. Super Mario Galaxy. Ended up going to the movies, saw 3 movies in a row. This is the first one I saw. We love Mario, of course. We love the first movie, and this is kind of on par with the first one. If you like the first one, you're probably going to like this one. And the reason why we like the first one so much is because there were nods to other the original games. There were sequences that we saw like, yeah, that's Mario 1. That's cool. There's some people we've seen from those games. This is no different, and the story wise kind of man. But the nods that you see, you look in the background trying to see the cameos and the Easter eggs is great. There's a whole sequence in Mario Land 1 if you played on the Game Boy. There's the best sequence of the movie is Super Mario Brothers 2 on the NES. An entire sequence in the middle of the game where you see all the villains. They're in a casino, which is what that whole game is based off of. It's great. And I cannot wait to get your reaction to that because it's nice. That was I think the first Mario game.
We'll see.
Yeah, that's the first Mario game I ever played. So yeah, great nods to not only Mario characters but the Nintendo franchise. As you know, they've already spoiled it, but Star Fox is part of this now. Sets up and he kind of sets it up as a multiverse, hopping from another multiverse. setting up what would probably be a Super Smash Brothers. I think is what
Right.
kind of the rumors are. Rosalina Peach, they have a whole storyline. And there's an after credits reveal that reveals something else I don't want to tell you about. But the other thing I want to bring up is Yoshi, part of the story underutilized. Same with Bowser. Bowser was such a big part of the first movie, not really a big part of this one. Little part, but Bowser Jr. had a bigger role. Of course, he's a villain technically, but yeah, overall decent movie. Probably 3.5 out of 5 for me. Just for nostalgia wise, if I'm gonna really rate it, probably a 2.5. But I just love the nostalgia and all the cameos and stuff. So it's a fun movie. And we both did see. I saw that you watched this on Letterboxd, so I decided to watch it too. The drama, with Robert Pattinson and Zendaya. I knew the spoiler a couple months ago. It got spoiled. I don't know why somebody just decided to say it in a preview of the movie, but they did. I'm not going to say it on here, but something happens in Zendaya's past that comes back to haunt her, and as she's becoming engaged and getting to become married to Robert Pattinson's character in the movie, and has repercussions throughout their the last few days of them trying to get their wedding rehearsal finalized and all that. Overall, I liked how it went. Ending kind of abruptly ended. But I guess if you're talking about is it true love type of deal, can you overcome a big secret like that? Yeah, then maybe the story and the overall message is there. But yeah,
it also had the dichotomy of obviously Robert Pattinson's plays a British character, she's an American character, and that drama kind of doesn't typically happen over where he's from. So I think he kind of brushes it off a little bit, and of course his friends
compared to their friends.
I thought it was very well acted. Great chemistry all around. I gave it a 4 out of 5. I really enjoyed it.
Same.
I look forward to seeing it again.
Yeah, very good movie. Zendaya, this is like the second thing she's doing this year. Is this? She's doing, of course,
Spider-Man.
She's going to be doing Spider-Man
and the Odyssey.
And the Odyssey is the big ones, and then also
she could be in $2 billion
Dune.
movies.
She's going to be in Dune 2, which is going to be the third one. So, yeah. And the big movie we're going to review, the one that opened this weekend, is going to do good numbers. Michael, a movie on paper I was very excited to see.
Yep.
The reviews started coming out last week, and they were like, God, this movie's god awful. The acting's horrible. The storyline is weak. They didn't tell Michael's whole story, which we knew going in. This movie had been heavily edited.
2 years ago, when I heard that, or was a year and a half ago, whenever it broke, that they had to change the ending completely because of the settlement stuff, I was like, okay, so we're probably going to get a pretty vanilla version of Michael's story, which if you look at biopics, or music biopics, that's typically how it happens. The Rocket Man one is different because he refused to. They wanted to dumb down his story, and he refused to let that happen because they wanted the PG-13 movie for Elton John. So I kind of knew that going in. So when the reviews were saying stuff about that, I was like, "What did you expect?" Like,
right? Yeah, that didn't bother me going in. I was super excited. I've been listening to Michael Jackson music all week. Of course, we grew up right in that moment of Michael Jackson.
I knew
1983.
I listened
Thriller
to Jackson
was when it
5
came out.
Before I knew who Michael Jackson was. I was a fan of the Jackson 5. I love Motown music. It's great, especially as I get older. I like it a lot more. Appreciate it a lot more. But
I will say this. Not only was this my favorite movie of the year so far, it may be one of my favorite biopics of all time. I absolutely loved this movie.
I liked it a lot too. Outside of that little kid I wanted to punt who's dancing the entire time.
I love the kid too. I love the kid who played little kid Michael. But I love Jafar so much better. Jafar is one of the best casted biopic actors I have ever seen. When you realize that some of those songs, especially the end when he did Human Nature, that was Jafar.
Yep.
It seemed like he was lip syncing. That was really him singing.
Yes.
He got the dancing and everything down pat.
I think they used some of Michael's to enhance it, but that's about it. That's actually him singing, which is another reason why I love the Elton John biopic, because that's all Taron. But
it was all him, And the Queen biopic, it gets so much rap because it was all dubbed over.
That movie sucks.
Yeah,
Anyways,
and it had a
I
lot.
hate
It had
that
a lot of.
movie.
It had a
it
lot
so
of potential when Sacha Baron Cohen was connected to that movie. It had a lot of potential. When Rami Malek became a part of that movie, who's the producers of this movie is that movie, by the way. When Rami Malek became a part of that movie, it's like, well, why? I guess he kind of looks like Freddie Mercury, but when you actually saw the movie, it was god awful.
Yes.
This though is fantastic.
I really enjoyed this too. I was wondering how you thought about this because we didn't talk about it afterwards.
I've been listening to Michael all week.
I gave it a 4 out of 5. Really
4.5 out of 5 for me.
Yeah, that makes sense. Really enjoyed it. They did brush over stuff, but again, it's a 2-hour movie.
Right.
If they wanted to tell Michael's story properly, it really isn't feasible with the way movie theaters are now. It'd have to be like at least 4 parts, 2.5 hours each, if you wanted to cover everything.
It wouldn't be done by the Jackson. It wouldn't be done by the Jackson family either. It had to be done from outside. That's the whole reason why this movie got edited, because there's a sequence. It's already been filmed, but this movie was going to start off in like 2000 and whenever the police started showing up at Neverland. That's where the movie was going to start. When he was going to get indicted for all the child stuff.
Yep.
And they couldn't do it because that was a sealed document that you couldn't have the person any of that information, and they had no idea.
Have somebody check that? Like you would think, you would think that somebody would do the research. Like have an intern look it up.
And they filmed the whole entire sequence.
Yeah.
They filmed the trial and everything. So a lot of that, if they ever do, we'll get into it in a minute. But if they do a sequel to this movie. They can't have that particular case, but they can kind of skirt over it by talking about it. But this movie is done by the Jackson family, so you're going to get a Jackson version of that story compared to the Leaving Neverland story we'll talk about later. But there was no Janet Jackson. She wouldn't give her likeness, so that was kind of odd seeing the whole entire family not seeing a little baby
entire
Janet
time I'm
walking
like,
around.
Where's Janet? Like, where is she at?
She didn't. She wouldn't give the producers her likeness. Understandably, she's a huge star.
But I mean, to be fair, also at the same time, they didn't give any of the other brothers and sisters anything to do, anyways, for the most part.
Right. It's Michael's story. Yeah,
it's Michael's story. So she probably would have just been like seeing the background or something like that. Because it's Janet Jackson, they might have done something, or maybe in a part 2 they would have done something with Janet. Because of course she gets bigger in the 90s and whatnot. But it is what it is.
Best part of this movie, Coleman Domingo is Joe Jackson. Holy fuck. The first scene where he beats Michael with a belt, stunning performance by Coleman Domingo. And then going forward, him being the brooding character for the whole entire life of Michael Jackson. And being that guy on his ass 24/7, trying to run the family the way he did, depicted it perfectly in this movie.
He was also the one that was being singled out by critics for his bad performance.
Oh, fuck that.
I won't say it was bad at all. I think he was very good. The one nitpick I did have is it is very one note.
Right.
But
it's been done so many times too.
That's how people think of that character now. It's very similar to I think I almost put it in the review on Letterboxd, but I didn't. But it kind of reminded me of Fritz von Erich in the Von Erich movie where they made him that character you've heard about for so much, even though to the kids he was his dad, but to everyone else they all thought he like pushed his kids too far, blah blah blah. But yeah, he was awesome as Jafar. I was very surprised.
And I was too.
Everyone in this movie
shocked me.
Like Miles Teller, I didn't even look at the cast list. I had no idea he was even in this movie.
Mike Myers, unannounced part of the cast.
Yep. Yeah. When I saw Miles Teller though, I was like, he looks a lot like John Cusack in the 80s.
He does, yeah.
But yeah, all around fantastic performances. I really enjoyed it. I don't know what movie the critics saw, or if they were just reviewing the movie they wanted to see versus the movie they got.
Right. They wanted to see the allegations. They wanted something that wasn't sugarcoated and whitewashed.
Right. As far as the allegation stuff go too, is they portray Michael as this basically a big kid. He's doing the John Cena thing like 3 or 4 times in the movie, going to the hospital, whatnot.
Yep.
And I think that was to also set up like the fact that stuff happened, but I don't think it happened to the way the kids were saying it happened type stuff. And they were gonna do the trial stuff based on the fact that he's just a big kid who'd never had a childhood. versus
and that's
actually
always
being
been
a
the
predator or whatever, which is what
that's
everyone's
always
said.
been the defense.
And
Right, yeah.
not for nothing, when you're investigated by the FBI for like 15 years and they don't find anything, I'm gonna go ahead and say that inappropriate stuff probably happened, but not to the extent that the victims said it did. But of course, we weren't there, so
yeah, you can't. And that's the other thing I was going to bring up to you. We'll talk about it at the end. We'll talk about it now. I kind of want. I've been holding off on it, but I want to watch that documentary. Leaving Neverland.
Oh, you've never seen it?
Never seen it. I wanted to go. I wanted to go into this blind. I almost watched it before.
It's good.
I wanted to go in before I get the other aspect.
But again,
of
you don't know what.
Right.
I mean, then again, the people that the kids or now they're adults that are interviewed in that at the same time they're very convincing. As in like Oscar-worthy acting convincing.
But you hear the other part of that.
Yeah.
Right. You hear the other part of that story, and there's stories of them colluding.
Yes.
I want to get into the documentary before I talk about it because I don't know much more besides that.
Yep.
But there's a lot of money to be turned around.
Oh, yes.
Michael Jackson, the biggest star ever. Bigger than Taylor Swift. People don't understand. Michael Jackson in the 80s.
I can't name one Taylor Swift song.
Crying. He had people crying in the audience. Right. There's no song that even
there's no comparison to basically it's same as the NBA. There's Michael Jordan, then there's about
and everybody else
50 feet, and then there's everyone else. That's how much separation there is between pop stars. I can't even maybe Elvis in his day, but even then Michael overtook that by his second album
by a mile.
So Michael Jackson's the greatest ever to do it.
Yeah, Michael Jackson, greatest. I love this movie. I think anybody who grew up in the 80s, grew up in the early 90s will love this movie too. Especially if you love Michael Jackson music, you're gonna love it.
Even if you think the movie is just okay, if you're a fan of his music, you should like to love this movie. Because they do such a good job. Obviously, it's his music, so how could you not like it? But they do the sound mixing and everything is perfect. Like the theater we saw in RPX, right? And it just sounded fucking glorious. Like it felt like you were at a concert.
Michael had no idea. He had no idea how to play any instrument, but he knew how he wanted his albums to sound. So when you hear demos of his music, he would do the music by humming it and
which they show in the movie.
They show that in the movie. There's a documentary that came out on the making of Thriller, I think. It came out on Netflix a couple years ago. Where did that? Where he was coming up with how to make Thriller, and he's like, Quincy, I want it to sound like this, and he'd go, and he
even does that on
beat. And he'd do all the drums and everything.
Songs.
Yeah. He's an incredible artist, and everybody knows that. Incredible movie. And the minute I saw the critics giving it a shitty review, I was like, and I left the theater, I was like, I think what happened? How did this disconnect happen? Yeah.
I think that helped my enjoyment of the movie because going in, I was like, I didn't read any of them, but you saw them because they were everywhere. And I'm just like, huh. And then when I got out and I wanted to take a day or two before I wrote my review, that's when I went back and started reading some of them, and I'm like, I don't think these people saw the movie.
Right.
I get if you don't think it's just fucking stupid. I fucking hate critics.
Right. They expected a movie that was going to tackle his whole entire controversy, which they were going to get to, but legally they couldn't. And that understandably they had to take $15 million to rewrite the whole end of the movie. Diana Ross was supposed to be a part of this. Kat Graham, who was in Vampire Diaries, she was cast as Diana Ross. Her whole entire part was scrapped because of everything, the controversial stuff they had to scrap for the movie.
The other thing too with the critics is, since they just let the set photos leak of Jafar as Michael, and everyone said how spot on he was, how much he looked like him, people already had this movie lined up for the Oscars, and from the critics, I feel like they're in their mind they're thinking, you don't say this movie's Oscar worthy. We do. I don't know if that's true or not, but I think that everybody jumped the gun on that so quickly that it was going to be an Oscar movie and going to win every Oscar or whatever. I think that kind of pissed off some of the critics also. But I don't know. It is what it is. I'm really glad we saw it. I'm glad I enjoyed it as much as I did because I had fucking no idea how I would feel about it going in. You're the much bigger Michael Jackson music fan than I am. I don't listen to him on very often. We listen to him at work a lot because we play a lot of 80s stations, but that's about it. But yeah, overall, I liked it. My score could go up. I see my score for the drama possibly going up on my next rewatch. But I'm sticking with a 4 for now. And I'm going back to work, so I probably won't get to see it again in theaters, but I would like to.
I could have given this movie a 5, but I was being realistic and giving it a 4.5. I loved it. And like I mentioned, it was probably the best biopic I've ever seen, and I do mean that.
It's in my top 4 or 5 for music biopics. I was actually thinking about doing my Letterboxd ranking before today, but I want to sit with this one a little bit more before I decide.
The same. Same.
Yeah.
The other thing is, after credit scene, his story continues. Kind of hinting to a sequel, maybe. Nothing official from Universal. Whoever, I think it's Universal that did this. Nothing official. But yeah, movies gonna do big numbers this weekend, and if I could tell everybody not to listen to the critics, this would be the one movie. This is the only time I've ever had such a discrepancy with critics.
But the audience score is 97,
95, right now.
95 now.
97%.
Okay. Yeah,
30% on Rotten Tomatoes with the critic score.
Yeah.
The only other discrepancy that's ever been in my lexicon was Boondock Saints. It's like a 20% on Rotten Tomatoes. That movie is fucking amazing.
There's a bunch of movies that I absolutely love that are less than 25%.
Right. A lot of comedies that I grew up on too are pretty much
comedies don't test well with critics, but
they don't test well for critics. Yeah. So yeah, hopefully we get a sequel to this, and hopefully Jafar. Hoping the whole cast comes back. Coleman Domingo is amazing. Nia Long was great in this. Everybody's great.
Who's Don King? Because that guy was good too.
That was the guy that used to be on Conan. He's a stand-up comedian. Dion Cole.
Okay. Oh, and then the other surprise I was fucking pumped when I was like, I think that's him, was Lorenz Tate. I love Lorenz Tate. I grew up on
he played
fucking phenomenal. He played his recording engineer.
Gordy, right? Barry Gordy. Didn't he play? Yeah, Barry Gordy. Yeah. Great movie. Everybody go see this. Don't listen to the critics. It's fucking amazing. Definitely worth seeing in a theater. The sound in there is amazing. Strobe lights were a little fucking with my eyes at the end, but shiny suits. Movie starts off with him walking the iconic Michael walk that's in all of his music videos and stuff. Started off like that too, so it's awesome. With that being said, let's get into the news. And it's not a news time without the trailer roundup. Movie called Idiots. Talked about it a little while ago. Got a poster, got a trailer this week. Dave Franco, O'Shea Jackson, Ice Cube's son, and Mason Thames, who is in the Percy Jackson movies on Disney currently. Film follows two unqualified bozos who are hired to transfer a rich kid to rehab, but their gig quickly turns into mayhem. It's gonna be an R-rated A20. No, not A24. I don't know who's making it, but it just looks. IFC,
independent film company,
but it comes out in August. It seems like one of the classic comedies, R-rated comedies of the back in the day, and I hope they don't hold the punches.
It looks all right. Looks pretty good.
Yeah. Another R-rated comedy coming out. I'm not sure about this one because the other sequel sucked, but Super Trooper 3 trailer. They're number one, bringing everybody back from the first movie. Already a plus. But then you have the negative of the second movie, which was not good.
No,
first one's great.
Was the second one a Netflix only movie? I can't remember. I feel like it. Have been.
It was definitely a pandemic, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure much more about that. It was also crowdfunded completely through Kickstarter or one of those.
Right.
GoFundMe, whatever it was. But Super Troopers 3 coming out, whole cast coming back. About the of course about all the Vermont highway patrolmen or state troopers, wherever they are. Farva and the leader of Cola and all that stuff.
Everyone that's in every Broken Lizard production ever. What's
your favorite Broken? I was gonna say Beer Fest. Beer Fest underrated.
That and what was the island movie they did? It was also very good. But
Club Dread.
Yeah,
there's Club Dread and there's
Super Troopers is I think is the best one, but Beer Fest is underrated. Seeing
underrated.
Seeing Sean from Psych.
Great movie. So we'll talk about that. Comes out August 7th. A poster and a trailer. I forgot to watch the trailer. I know it's out, but called Hungry.
Oh,
it's a
gotta be something. It's
Hungry Hungry Hippos, a movie based off of that.
Mhm.
It comes out on June 23rd, and it's all about hippos killing people, kind of like Lake Placid and all those movies of the 90s.
This is the
where
type of movie
animals
that
attack humans.
the idea comes to you after about your 7th line of cocaine.
Yeah, definitely.
It's
definitely.
I'm watching it. Who are we kidding? I'm definitely watching it. Probably won't see it in theaters, but I'll see it whenever I can get my hands on it.
Next movie, I love the trailer. I'm glad this movie got taken out of the dumpster, and it's actually coming out. Coyote versus Acme.
Yeah.
It's everything I hoped it would be. It's Coyote suing Acme for all the shit that, he's been through.
I feel like I'm a
years.
bigger Will Forte fan than you because I love MacGruber.
Oh,
I love Will Forte.
I love SNL. I loved him on that.
Oh, he was great in SNL. I don't watch SNL, but he was great on that. But yeah, you get John Cena and Will Forte playing off each other. Like, that's a dream matchup right there. Love it.
Everybody who's seen this movie says, "Why did you put it in a box and throw it away?"
And that was before it was finished. So that was before a lot of the animation was probably even done on the movie. So
there's a lot of hype to it. James Gunn's posting about it. Everybody's posting about it and saying how great it is. So, and it was one of those tax write-offs, and they ended up taking out of there and saying, this movie needs to come out. Coming out August 28th. Trailer looks awesome. There's some new posters there for you. Cannot wait for that. We'll talk about it. Got a second trailer for Power Ballad. This is Paul Rudd, Nick Jonas. We saw the first trailer before the drama and before Michael was played. Right. The new trailer came out yesterday.
Looks good.
It's basically Paul Rudd writes a song, Jonas steals it, and Paul Rudd and him have a big, huge knockdown, drag-out fight. Supposedly it's very funny. They came out with a new poster with all the critics praising the fuck out of it. So yeah, I'll have to wait and see. I'm kind of I like Paul Rudd, so I'm kind of excited to see it.
Me too.
So we'll see. And we got a couple of new comic book related trailers. We got a new trailer for Spider Noir. Comes out in May, just a few weeks from now, May 27th. Got some new posters there.
Are you doing black and white first or color first?
I'm doing both. I'm going to watch. First watch is going to be black and white. Second watch is going to be color. This show seems like it's made for black and white.
Yep.
Just the style and everything.
Yeah.
Here's some new looks of the villains of the movie. We got Sandman. We got, instead of Electro, he's called Megawatt. We got Silvermane, which is a character in the Spider-Man lexicon, who is a gangster mobster. And we got Tombstone there on the bottom right. So cannot wait for that. Unrelated to all the other Spider-Man, of course, is set in the noir 1930s style with Nicolas Cage playing Spider-Man. So yeah, cannot wait. On paper, it looks awesome. But the big trailer this week that everybody's talking about is Clayface. It's stunning. Looks awesome. Reminds me a lot of the animated series.
Yeah.
It's gonna hit big. It's gonna hit big in October. And it's James Gunn did confirm that it's set before Superman.
Makes sense.
In chronological order, as far as that's concerned, it's going to be set before that, and it's also set before Creature Commandos. Although they're saying that's a different Clayface character and all that. But we'll get into that later.
Yeah, it could be, but at the same time,
right.
It is what it is. I kind of wish Clayface wasn't even in Creature Commandos because I'm sure that decision was made before this was greenlit.
Right.
But I cannot wait. Don't know anything about the actor. I am glad they went low budget. Looks like an A24 movie. Made for $40 million. Like, Gunn hasn't done horror in so long, and I like James Gunn's horror movies. So even though he didn't direct this one, he's obviously producing it and whatnot. Right. Which he's produced more horror movies than he's directed anyways. So yeah, written by Mike Flanagan, who's one of my favorites. So to say I'm excited would be an understatement. Yes.
Yeah, that was the thing. The script is what turned everybody on to this story before any pitches or anything. But box office last week, Super Mario Brothers for the third week was number 1. Project Hail Mary for 5 week was number 2, and Lee Cronin's The Mummy, which you saw, was number 3. With 13.5 million. And today or yesterday, I think it was yesterday, Paramount, the takeover of Warner Brothers was officially approved by the Warner Brothers shareholders. However, David Zaslav, who was going to get $550 million payday for the deal, was rejected by the board. He's getting nothing.
He's still going to get
good day, sir.
He's still going to get $500 million at least.
Right.
That's not how that works, even though people are using it to obviously bash Zaslav, which, I mean, you have every right to. The guy definitely did not seem like he was cut out for the job at first, but at the end of the day, he more than doubled what he bought the company for. So
Right.
is he really that bad of an executive? Sure, he cut some shit out that you might have wanted to see, and people lost their jobs, but he's still going to get paid either way. That must be nice.
What's the landscape look like right now? If you're you and me, consumers who love the comic book part of WB, what's your outlook look like right now as far as where do you see Ellison running this company 5 years from now?
I personally don't really care about the DC aspect because whatever happens with those properties happens. I'm more concerned over the loss of jobs, the lack of studios within the industry.
Right.
Being shrunken a little bit because that's one less place to take a pitch.
Right.
Like The Walking Dead, for instance, I believe, or no, Breaking Bad. They pitched that shit to everyone. But what if AMC wasn't around to pitch it to? We never would have had Breaking Bad.
Right.
I see the more studios, the better. That's what's sad about this. And the one reason why I did want the Netflix thing to go through is at least they were saying the right things about keeping them separate. I don't know. And I don't think they're going to keep things separate. And I don't know if David Ellison will be in charge of Warner Brothers as a whole in 5 years.
Right.
I could see them selling off bits and pieces at some point. So I have no idea, but I mean, we'll see what happens with the DC stuff. DC Studios, I don't think is going anywhere regardless. And if James Gunn is running it, they'll get somebody else to run DC Studios separately under the Paramount Warner Brothers banner. But to me, they should keep everything separate because both Paramount and Warner Brothers both have such meaning within the industry over the last 100 years. I think it'd be dumb. It's like when they took HBO and they just called it Max when HBO was the brand that people wanted to see. That was a dumb idea and they corrected it eventually. So hopefully they learn from that and they don't do this. They don't make them one. They keep them separate. Streaming wise, you can put everything into one service if you want, or do the deal with like ESPN and Disney and Hulu package type thing where you can get them both at a discount as opposed to each one separately. But it's going to be an interesting year for sure.
The only thing they confirmed so far is they are going to combine the streaming apps.
Yes.
As far as the studios are concerned, you're gonna lose jobs, obviously.
Right. Definitely.
Just because both companies. I mean, it's just a bad time for movies in general.
Yeah. It's what happens when there's a merger.
And that scares Hollywood, and that's why there's going to be a lot of pushback, and that's why a lot of people, including this open letter that actors have written out and producers and directors are all saying that they're going to try to ban this as much as they possibly can and go to the higher ups and say, no, this should not happen. But we'll keep an eye on it like always, and we'll continue the story. Speaking of executives, Tim Cook, who took over for Steve Jobs.
Timmy C
stepping down from Apple in September.
Hard
I don't remember. Buddy. I don't remember who's taken over, but it's one of the guys who's always in all those things that happen throughout the Apple conferences. One of those guys. But yeah, Tim Cook is still going to be a part of the company, but he's not going to be the figurehead anymore. I'm not sure if he'll be part of the conferences anymore. Figurehead, as far as that's concerned, everybody knows who he is. They know him as the guy that took over for Steve Jobs.
Right.
So who knows? And it was announced today, Peacock lost $432 million in just the first quarter of this year, more than double of what they lost in the first quarter of last year. An increase driven by the NBA deal. Total loss overall since the launch of Peacock is $11 billion with a B dollars. Execs claim they're approaching profitability soon. How the fuck is that with all these negative numbers? I don't understand business.
I don't know how any of that works. I don't even know how Netflix works. Like they were in the red for so long, and I mean, I don't know.
The other thing nobody's talking about, the WWE Network completely gone off of there, and they had a lot of people signed up for WWE Network. For $9.99 a month, right? For $9.99 a month, you can watch everything. Not there anymore. All that stuff's on YouTube, and of course on ESPN Unlimited now for the pay-per-views.
And Netflix,
yeah, Peacock has a lot of great stuff just because of the NBC Universal catalog. One of the worst platforms as far as navigating a menu.
Oh, it's awful. And sometimes like I'll flip it because they'll have football on, so I'll be watching the game, then I'll be like, oh, commercial, and I'll go to like an episode of Psych or something, and like Psych's playing the video and I hear the fucking audio from the football game channel. The app itself is
Very
not
bad.
great, but I do like it for the fact that it has Psych on it.
Speaking of apps, we have not brought it up. The new Netflix app on Apple TV, fucking trash. They need to switch back to the Apple.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's god awful. I hate when they put their own AI, UI, whatever they want to call it, in there, and when you have to scroll, I hate that shit. They're trying to differentiate themselves from Apple. Apple just did it right. The first Apple TV, the navigation has been perfect ever since, and everybody's trying to change. Prime is probably one of the better ones as far as menus and all that stuff and navigating. But yeah. Chappelle's Show. We talked about it last week that Dave was talking about maybe bringing it back. He said I think it was a thing they were doing for Eddie Murphy, AFI, American Film Institute. He was there last week, and he was talking about how great Eddie is, and he's like, if I do the Chappelle Show, and Eddie told him, why don't you do it as a movie? And he's like, if I do this, you come in and you take over your brother's part. In other words, do the Charlie Murphy stories, do the Eddie Murphy stories playing yourself, which would be fucking fantastic.
Yep.
If it was I think that as far as Dave Chappelle is right now, I think a movie is the perfect idea for bringing the Chappelle Show back. The Chappelle movie, I guess you would call it. That was underrated as far as sketch comedy. Probably one of the better ones is, for me, it's that and Living Color SNL in that order. So yeah. Live action, The Phantom. They did the Phantom movie back in the early 90s with Billy Zane. And it's been a comic strip way back in the day. But they're talking about bringing it back for a live action TV series. Filmmaker Reginald Hudlin, I don't know who that is, and King Features are going to be part of that. So yeah, Billy Zane there on the left. If you ever seen that movie, I saw it a long time ago. I don't remember much about it, but definitely one of those serialized 1930s things. And Dexter Resurrection Season 2 in production.
Yes.
Bryant Cox going through New York City in a wheelchair.
Yes.
Talking to people and getting pictures with women. And officially joining the cast as a series regular, motherfucking Joseph Quinn.
Thank God.
Cannot wait. We love that character. And
they need to
Dexter.
Continue tying this back to the original series, the Miami years. Obviously the best years. And Joey Quinn, even though he looks like he's got something going on, maybe a low T-cell count, maybe want to get checked out. But I love Joey Quinn on the show. He's fantastic, and he's a Dark Knight Rises alumni.
How great is it going to be when Joey Quinn comes to New York City to try to find out why Batista was killed?
Yep.
And he finds out Dexter is there. Like, this has it all written.
Everything we wanted
fucking from fantastic.
That should have happened in the season 8 of Dexter, where they all find out, and then because that show should have ended in like a 5 or 6 episode arc of them chasing after Dexter with probably Deborah arresting him or whatever. Probably should have been the original ending, but having them all kind of find out slowly now, like we saw Batista in the last season. I can't wait.
Yep.
So glad you got into this show too. So glad.
Mazuka, I hope that they put him into a series regular role eventually.
Same.
Of course, it's different with Mazuka because he's the comedic relief of this show. He's not serious that much. Of course, like I could see him being part of the series.
Joey had all those thoughts about Dexter and how it wasn't normal.
Right.
That
makes sense for this story.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Looking at him side eye. I cannot fucking wait. Got a brand new picture. They're filming in Paris of Wednesday season 3. I like Wednesday. Not one of my favorite shows on Netflix, but I like it. I'll watch it. Speaking of favorite shows, Ted season 2 had 1.2 billion views since it premiered in Peacock in March. Top original comedy of any streamer on there. And there is speculation that maybe a season 3 is on the horizon.
If they should do
big numbers,
they should do
big numbers.
3. It's the only show of theirs that's not just well done, but does big numbers and is popular.
It's the only show on there I repeat.
The issue with Peacock is the subscriber base is so small compared to a Netflix or something. So
And
maybe they could sell it to Netflix or sell it to Warner Brothers. I don't know.
And how much did these episodes cost to make? It's quite a bit. It's like
it's a lot of
10
money
or
because
20 million per episode.
Ted himself. I mean, maybe they could do it in a way where Ted isn't featured as prominently, because not for nothing, the surrounding cast is also pretty fucking
great,
incredible. Yeah. So maybe you could maybe you make like an episode in the season where it's just the mother and father, or just the cousin.
And don't forget, they're doing an animated series continuing the original movies too, with Mark Wahlberg coming back to reprise his role. Yep. So that's a great way of doing that story. A cheap way of doing it.
Definitely.
They announced that Top Gun, coming back for the 40th anniversary, Top Gun and Top Gun Maverick coming back on May 13th for 1 week only in theaters. I love Top Gun Maverick. I'm not a huge fan of Top Gun, the original, but I love Top Gun Maverick. It's like Star Wars.
I love them both. I grew up on Top Gun, and I like Top Gun Maverick a lot. It's one of the few legacy sequels that's actually good.
Oh yeah, perfect movie. Speaking of 80s movies, new movie John Rambo, a prequel to, I believe, First Blood. David Harbour has joined the cast as Major Troutman, who is a part of the original movie. And Miami Vice, the reboot with Michael B. Jordan and Austin Butler, are officially happening. The official title is Miami Vice 85. So it's going to be set in the 80s. 80s nostalgia is huge right now. I think 90s nostalgia is becoming huge right now too. And nostalgia wise, 80s is a great setting for that. Of course, original is set in the 80s. Cocaine is going to be a huge part of this, I'm sure. So I cannot wait for that. Love both of those actors. Like to see them work together. So speaking of nostalgia, 90s, Fern Gully, animated movie. Robin Williams played one of the characters in that, returning in a live action film on Amazon. Fern Gully was one of those non-Disney movies that everybody saw in the early 90s.
I always thought it was Disney too growing up.
Yeah, it just because it was right after Aladdin, and Robin Williams did that right after Aladdin, because I think they wanted to do Prince of Thieves, and he's like, no, I'll do something else. You're not paying me enough. He did Fern Gully. They paid him a ton of money.
Yeah.
So, live action Gundam. Gundam is a model that happens in Japan, I believe. These gigantic, looks like Zords from Power Rangers. The live action movie's happening. Sydney Sweeney is going to be starring in it. Notable actors, Michael Mando, of course, Jason Isaac, who I fucking love, and Nanzo Azani. I've seen him in something too, but other than that, I don't know any other actor like Michael Mando, though.
Noah Centino's in Black Adam, and he's going to be. Is he Stallone in the new? I think either the Rocky thing or the Rambo thing. He's plays the part of Stallone, I believe.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, he was in Black Adam. He was Cyclone.
Okay, cool. And we got the first look of Rabbit in Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2 or 3. Shit, the third movie. Voiced by Roger L. Jackson, who was the original voice of Ghostface in the 3 movies. So, menacing looking. Those movies, I don't think I've seen one of them yet, even though I was supposed to see Blood and Honey. And you got mad at me because it didn't.
It's something. Yeah, because you made me sit through that pile of shit and didn't tell me you weren't watching. God, that movie was terrible.
Yeah, but there's a whole Poodaverse now, so we'll see.
There's a Poodaverse.
Speaking of mysteries and monsters, the very first picture of Scooby-Doo, the remake, just started filming today.
Oh,
Netflix put out this picture. The only person I know is McKenna Grace because she's in of course, the Ghostbusters, the new ones.
Oh, yep.
She plays Daphne. Or not Daphne. Daphne. Yeah. Movie adaptation for the game Battlefield in the works. Michael B. Jordan is going to produce and potentially star in the film. Christopher McQuarrie is going to be directing it. Don't know much about the game. I know it's kind of set like you play it kind of like Call of Duty, I guess. Don't know much more about it.
It's basically a first-person shooter. Yeah.
Yep. Speaking of video games, Elden Ring. Going to be a movie, a live-action adaptation of that. It's going to be in IMAX. It's going to officially release on March 3rd of 2028, 2 years from now. And it's going to be written by and directed by Alex Garland. Already got the pedigree right there. I'm in. A24 film. Going to star Kit Connor, Ben Whishaw, who was in, he played was it Q in the new Bond? Is
Yes,
that the one
I
that does
believe
all
so.
the
I think so,
all
yeah.
the gadgets and stuff? And Kaylee Spaney, who's been all Alex Garland movies. Nick Offerman's also a part of this cast, so I cannot wait.
Guy in the bottom left is in House of the Dragon, and he's in the first 3 episodes of Game of Thrones. He plays Kevin and he plays Lannister twins in House of the Dragon.
Yep. Cannot wait. Are on my radar because I do like Alex Garland. I like the cast. Never played the games, but on my radar.
I think George R.R. Martin wrote one of the games.
Okay.
As opposed to writing
But
his
he won't
fucking book.
His book. He won't finish his book, but he'll write games. Okay. Now I know where it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Got a behind the scenes look at the Legend of Zelda and what Zelda what Link could look like in the final product of the game with the Master Sword and everything of the movie. We'll have to wait and see on that. Also, they announced a Assassin's Creed Black Flag, which came out like a decade ago. A resynced, remastered version of the game coming out on new consoles.
There's a handful of Assassin's Creed games on PS Now if you want to grab them.
Cool.
I just started playing Odyssey to get ready for the movie Odyssey, and I played like an hour last night, and it's a lot of fun.
Oh, cool. I just started. It's funny you say that because I just started playing the remastered 3, which is set in colonial America.
Yep.
I fucking love that game.
That was the last one I played. I think that was the last one I played. But yeah, Odyssey one it's very cool. Seems like a lot of fun.
Going through colonial Boston is pretty fucking cool in that game.
Yep.
Yeah. And Mortal Kombat. We got some new popcorn buckets. We got some new stuff from theaters, and they got a tankard, which looks fucking incredible, but it's almost $100 at Cinemark.
I'd probably
looks awesome.
It does look awesome.
Yeah, it looks fucking awesome with the flames and the blood. Yeah. And we got a new Shrek popcorn bucket, the outhouse from Shrek popping out of it with popcorn. I don't know how practical that is with popcorn coming out the side, but
it'd be like
your own.
When I got my Superman bucket, which I don't think you can see here, but that was a similar situation, and the guy was like, when I rang it up or whatever, he goes, "So do you just want me to give you a large popcorn? You can throw that in your car?" And I'm like, that would be terrific, because a lot of them are not very practical.
Right, they're shelf pieces at this point. Yeah. But they're doing huge numbers for movie theaters right now.
They need any income they can at this point.
It's all profit. So, it's all profit for them. They don't get a lot of that money from the ticket. They
did fucking Melania popcorn buckets for that piece of shit that came out.
Yeah, God. Yeah, but yeah, if you want a Shrek popcorn bucket, if you want a Mandalorian popcorn bucket, they got a couple of new ones coming out. Movie comes out just a couple of weeks. We got Mando and Grogu, and we also got a AT-AT Walker with Mando climbing on the side and the popcorn goes on the top. So yeah, let's get into some swag.
Swag. Stuff we all get.
Come on, son. You know that's right.
A 4K Steelbook. Blu-ray Game of Thrones complete series in a library case. Pre-ordering for $224. Comes out November 3rd. Has all the seasons of Game of Thrones, deluxe set, a whole bunch of special features and extras and all that. I know big Game of Thrones fans, big Steelbook fans.
Yeah, the
still collecting.
Set looks really nice. But I already have the regular Blu-ray set. And the show is on 4K on my iTunes because it automatically updated to 4K. But this set does look really nice. The Blu-ray set's one of my favorite Blu-ray sets of all time. It came in like a leather binder. It's really nice. But this looks pretty sexy.
One of my favorite sets is the Dexter set. You ever seen that before?
Yeah, and it's impossible to find. By the time I watched Dexter,
very rare.
By the time I watched Dexter, I immediately went to Amazon. Like I was probably in like season 2 or 3 of the show, and of course it's not even 4K.
It's the
slides. It looks so dope. Like that's like one I would really want, but they're like $200 on eBay, and I'm like, I can't justify that. Like I already own every season of the show. If they do a 4K re-release though, and just like that, I'm buying.
Yeah, it looks awesome. Speaking of looking awesome, Godzilla -1. I guess official looks of new pictures of the pop figures for that. Godzilla swimming in the ocean. Godzilla with a heat ray, of course. And this is McFarlane, Batman animated series from the 90s. We got Batman, we got Joker, we got Zatanna, we got Jarvis Tech, aka Mad Hatter, and all together you get the Clock King. If you get all those pieces, you combine them into one.
Yep.
Another figure. I wanted to bring that up. DC News of the Week. Joining the cast of Batman Part 2, Tywin himself, Tywin Lannister, Charles Dance, is officially joined the cast to play Harvey Dent's father.
Yes,
this casting has been hinted to from a whole bunch of other actors, and he's officially signed on for it. Great actor.
There's only one person that was actually offered the role. I can't remember which one it was, but like they talked about like Daniel Craig. None of those people apparently were ever offered the role. Brad Pitt, I don't think was ever offered the role. It's just Twitter rumor mill.
Right. So Scarlett Johansson going to be playing Harvey Dent's wife. Of course, Sebastian Stan playing Harvey Dent probably before the accident. And of course, the movie goes into production later on this year sometime. Cannot wait to talk about it, even though I'm not a huge fan of the film. First one, but I do love the Penguin, so we'll see.
Best Batman film yet.
You got a brand new poster for Lanterns. Did not get a new trailer yet, though. I'm guessing officially coming next week. They don't usually release a poster like this without a trailer, but has not been out yet. This was announced yesterday or the day before. James Gunn posted it on his socials. Looks great. It's just an official only one can wear the ring except for all the other Lanterns.
Yeah, I don't understand that tagline.
Yeah.
It's pissing a lot of people off, so we'll see. It's going to be a good show. Whether it's a good Lantern show is another thing entirely.
I fucking hope so.
Yeah.
Lanterns need some fresh blood.
Yeah, they need some love.
Bubbles from The Wire joining Man of Steel in an undisclosed role. I hope he plays Martian Manhunter. That's the role I want to see. Just because he's Bubbles.
Yep.
Have you ever seen The Wire? He plays Bubbles, who's all drugged out, becomes kind of clean at the end of that.
He plays the best crackhead I've ever seen.
Yep.
And he was, of course, the famous story of him is people were actually offering him crack when he was getting ready for the role because they thought he was actually addicted to crack when he was walking around Baltimore.
Wow. And Man of Tomorrow officially went into production this week, and James Gunn posted this picture of them at a prison, and Luther is there. And somebody noticed in the far top corner or top of the picture that they actually have a picture of what the logo for this movie looks like. It's Superman with a Brainiac symbol behind it. And that's the kind of a fuzzy look of what it's going to look like, but it's kind of, who knows? Nothing official, no official. Besides this, no official look of the movie. So cannot wait for that movie. We'll talk about it more. Speaking of that movie, supposedly it's been debunked by, I think, the FBI or somebody or Secret Service. I don't know who did this, but Superman production, they're currently filming in a prison in Atlanta right now. And supposedly there's a lot of security restrictions that the inmates and everybody in the prison are pissed off about.
Which is they've apparently false.
Denied all that stuff.
TMZ took back their story, and I think one of the prisoners' moms actually went online and said that her son's having the best time because now they get their meal served fresh in their rooms. They're not allowed to go to that part of the prison, so they get their meals fresher, they're hotter. And I guess they've been seeing some of the cast and stuff like that. So apparently the prisoners aren't that upset. Who knows? There might be one or two that were kind of pissed off. It's a very minimum security prison. It's not like there's any murderers or anything in there. It's blue collar crimes, white collar crimes, I believe.
Imagine if you're in prison and you're looking out your cell door, is that motherfucking Superman?
No kidding, right?
Yeah. Marvel. They fired the whole entire visual department, and the biggest part of the visual department in the last 20 years has been Andy Park. And he has left Marvel. Every visual part of Marvel that you know came from this guy's imagination, and all the art books is his name is on the art book. Yep. He illustrated all of that. He was in charge of all that. He was the head of the department. Fired.
James Gunn should be else. If he can be, James Gunn should have been on the phone with him already. But I don't know what's going on with the merger. Immediately. So, I don't know what's going on with the merger, so you never know. But he's the guy that DC should grab.
The other thing is that they're saying that Marvel's going to hire a per basis instead of having the department on. So they're probably going to keep him on per movie.
Yeah.
Yep. End of an era. I was there at the start of the team, broke the mold, 16 years, 40 plus films, 15 films led as a director of visual development. I couldn't be prouder of the history we made. So yeah, he's officially gone, but could be brought back as far as the rumors are concerned. Ryan Reynolds, speaking of MCU, is reportedly pushing to include Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, Cable, and Storm in his new Deadpool team-up movie. He's talked about has plans for Deadpool's future. Suggested it won't be another solo movie. However, it will be him kind of in a team, and that's kind of where he's best right now. He's great in a group.
Ryan Reynolds has always been good working off other actors, whether it's Deadpool or anything else he's ever done. He's always been good working off, Green Lantern especially. He's that type of guy. He has charisma with seemingly everybody.
He does, yeah.
So,
and X-Men. Some rumors of what this new reboot could be. Will feature a coming-of-age story, younger actors. Wolverine will not be part of the lineup. Will feature a younger cast that grows over time, which I was hoping that they would do. Lineup won't be as big as the one in X-Men 97, the animated series, and it will feature the original 5 X-Men from the 1960s with 3 extra members. So that would be Beast before the transformation, Cyclops, Jean Grey, Iceman, and there's another one, Kitty Pryde.
It's the dude with the wings, right? Angel.
Oh, Angel. Yep, you're right. Yep, and 3 extra members. So who knows? I can definitely see that happening, especially after Secret Wars. We'll have to wait and see, but cannot wait for that. And finally, in news, Avengers Endgame. The Russos are saying the re-release footage is critical to the plot of Doomsday. In other words, they're putting footage into Endgame, the re-release episode in September. That the footage is going to be critical to whatever you're going to see in Doomsday. I don't know if they're going to add in Easter eggs for Doomsday or what they're doing.
I wonder if they're going to update anybody that's bought the movie digitally at some point, because I believe they did that with X-Men. The road cut, I believe, was added to your, or maybe no, it was Logan Black and White was added to Logan.
That was
like 6 or 8 months after it came out. So I wonder if they're going to add that to everyone, but probably not. They're probably trying to sell it and make some money off it.
Spider-Man No Way Home had the same thing, and they didn't do that. They had a separate. You had to buy the separate movie. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. The other thing, it could be just a brand new full trailer to Avengers Doomsday. Could also be included in the end of the credits.
The Logan thing had nothing added. It was just in black and white, so you already had the movie anyways. So that's probably
right.
Different studio also.
So if anything, I would say a trailer would be included in that with setting up Doomsday, but we'll see. Also, officially confirmed, Marvel Studios is going to be at Comic-Con this year in San Diego at Hall H on Saturday nights when they do that. So cannot wait for that. I hope DC goes, but they're going to be in the middle production of Superman. Probably not. We'll wait and see. And finally, we got Spider-Man coming out brand new day. We got official, non-official look of what Sadie Sink's going to look like in Brand New Day, and speculation being, of course, that she's Jean Grey. This may confirm that with the red hair and all, but we'll have to wait and see. Next week, Daredevil Born Again, penultimate episode. Talk about that. The Boys, episode 5, Euphoria, episode 3. Tarantino power rankings. Just got to get your list, and then we can do that whenever.
Yep.
And the other thing I kind of brought up earlier, I want to watch Leaving Neverland. Since you've already watched it, you said, I will watch it this weekend.
I'll try to rewatch it. I'll see, because I have nothing going on this week. I'm just going to lay out.
I just want to have part accountability. We love that movie so much, Michael. I want to see the other perspective. Right. I want to get the other opinion of the story.
Too, so yeah. So
maybe we'll talk about that next week.
Yeah.
Definitely going to watch that. Talk about that next week. Thank you, everybody. Go watch Michael. Go to the movies. Just go.
Yeah, just go see anything.
Go to the movies.
Spend some money.
Great time.
Get a popcorn bucket.
Time. Yeah, get a popcorn bucket. Go fuck it, because I don't know what else you could do with it besides put it on a shelf.
Hey, it's not the Dune one.
There's no Dune ones. So you can't really fuck it.
The Dune fleshlight one, yeah. All right, people.
Yeah. We'll talk to you. Peace out.
Deuces.
We're the Geek Blurb crew, here to enlighten you, talking all things geeky, from movies to wrestling to our podcast is the place where you wanna be for all the latest news and nostalgia from the 80s and 90s. We review comic book flicks and sci-fi hits, riding the wave of action movies with all the cool bits. From Iron Man to Star Wars, we cover it all. And when it comes to wrestling, we never drop the ball. Cheap Blurb, we're the kings of the nerds, rating movies and pineapples, our opinions never blurred. Join us each week for a geeky chat with the latest scoop and a dose of nostalgia that. So if you're a fan of the comic book craze, or a lover of sci-fi and all its maze, tune in to Geek Blurb, we're here to entertain, bringing you the best in geekdom, it's our domain.